Right, this activity is all about ratio, which is something that really children won't start thinking about until year 5, 6. But as my account is all about play for older children, I thought it was important to talk about things like this that are for children who are still at the top end of primary school. So, ratio is really tricky for children to understand, I think, because it's just a difficult and different concept, and we don't tend to use it an awful lot. But it's something that they will need to know how to do. So first, you need to explain what ratio is, and this game really helps them understand what ratio is. So ratio is just how much of one thing there is compared to another. So you're comparing two things in terms of numbers. So for this game, I've just got my favourite chocolate box here, and I've got 2 dice. I make one of these, and I just keep sticking different bits of different labels over the top just to transfer them into different dice. So these ones have got numbers 1, 2, 3 numbered on them twice, and then these ones have just got 3 colours on them. I've got yellow, pink and green, and then I've got the same colours in Play-Doh, because who doesn't love playing with Play-Doh? And again, why should older children not be allowed to play with Play-Doh? As a really good tool for helping them with maths. And again, it's going to interest them, they're going to like it. So it's a kind of game, a kind of what is ratio activity, I suppose, but I've turned it into a game. So you talk to them, like these could be sweets or chocolates or whatever you want, but some kind of tub to put them in is really good. And all they need to do is roll the dice. So then we've got 2, and then they roll the colour. So 2, and I've got yellow. Now ratio is basically you say it in a sentence. So you'd say for every 2 yellow sweets or chocolates I have, and then the next number of another colour. So we're going to compare yellow with another colour in a minute. So because I've got 2 yellow, I'm going to make just 2 sweets. I'll just do it really quickly and put them in my chocolate box. Okay, so I've done that. I've got 2 yellow, and then I roll it again to see what I'm comparing it with. So I've got 2, again, green. Okay, so encourage the children to say this sentence. For every 2 yellow sweets I have 2 green sweets. And we're going to now make the 2 green sweets. And we're going to put them in the box. Oops, not in the same place, in a different place. Now they can visibly see that ratio. For every 2 yellow sweets, I have 2 green sweets. And if you wanted to go to the next step, you can then get them to write that ratio out. Sorry, my pen's not the best today. And ratio is written like that, 2 to 2. Okay, so it's written like that one. Now, what I would do is encourage them to then make more of these, because the whole idea with ratio is that they start understanding if they've got more than 2 yellow and 2 green, it has to it then kind of makes a pattern, if you like, and you can start adding up and using slightly different ratios. So again, I've got for every 2 yellow sweets I make 2 green sweets. So I've made another 2 yellow, so that means I must make another 2 green. So now I can say, if I've got 4 yellow sweets, because of my ratio, I've now got 4 green sweets. And again, you can do it again. I could make another 2 yellow sweets. So then, because my ratio is for every 2 yellow, I have 2 green, I have to make 2 green sweets. So I put that in there. Hello. Okay, and I can make it again. Because I've made 2 yellow, I have to make 2 green. For every 2 yellow sweets, I have 2 green sweets. So now, if I have 6 yellow sweets, because of my ratio, it means I have 6 green sweets. Okay? If the ratio is different, if I had done a 1 for the green, for instance, then it would look like that. For every 2 yellow sweets, I have 1 green sweet. And they need to start understanding that every time I make 2 yellow, I must make 1 green, because that's what ratio is all about, is comparing one thing to another. So I can't say I have 2 yellow this time, but I don't fancy a green sweet. You've got to make sure that they have that one in there. Then it's slightly different. Now we can work out, look, if I've got 6 yellow sweets, because I've done my ratio correctly, I've got 3 green sweets. So this is just a nice visual way. Thank you. This is just a nice visual way for them to start understanding ratio and to see it. there's lots of lovely other things that you can do. Gardening is a great one for ratio. For every 2 daffodil bulbs I plant 1 tulip bulb. If you can do that, go out in the garden and do that, planting seeds and things this time of year. Lots of really practical ways to understand ratio, and that's the thing behind it. If they understand what it is, then they'll be able to answer questions on it eventually. There's more to ratio, but this is kind of a good activity to start them with. So there we go.